everyone. I hope you're having a good day. So we're going to move on. We're not going to talk about parallel and perpendicular today, but we're going to learn a new form of linear equation. Okay, we're going to learn one called point-slope form. And this is not a formula that you have to memorize. It will be given to you on the STAR test, so that's nice. And I want to show you also, so we're going to do some notes, and then we're going to practice, and then there is an exit ticket that you need to do today. I want to show you, if you click on, I hope I've updated this one, poster wall, and I think it's going to log me out actually. Yeah. Okay, so let me pause the video. I want to show you this poster wall. On yours, it's going to work. It's just not working on mine right now. Okay, so I'm back, and this is what yours should look like. So if you click on poster wall in my Canvas over here on the side, this page is going to come up, and this is all the posters that I put on my wall. And I actually need to add one to this that I just put up, the Hoy-Bucks posters. But this is the one I'm talking about for today, linear equations. So we've seen equations in this form, and we've solved them for y. We've seen them in this form, y equals mx plus b. We've talked about that a lot. Now today we're going to talk about this one, point-slope form. So slope-intercept form is actually called slope-intercept because you're given the slope, m, and the intercept. Those are the pieces you need to write the equation. Y and x are always part of the equation. Point-slope form is called point-slope form because y and x are still part of the equation, but you need a slope, m, and a point on the line, and you can write that equation. So we have already put the notes for this in our journal. Remember when hopefully you put all those notes in your journal, because remember this is a major grade at the end of the 9 weeks. And I'm not giving you my journal to compare yours to this 9 weeks. So you need to make sure you put all these slides in. I made a video going over that. That was one of the things we did at the very beginning of Unit 4. So we're going to go to right here, Unit 4, Lesson 3, point-slope form. And it should be linked to slide 12. So here it is right here. So I'm going to zoom in so we can see better. So we're going to type. So slope-intercept form, that's the one we have used. Remember I said that m is so you should be able to type here. M is the slope, and b is the y-intercept. You should be filling this out with me. Pause the video if you need to and bring up your journal so that you can fill in these in. So write the equation on the line with a slope of 3 and a y-intercept of -6. Sorry about that. In slope-intercept form. So we use this form, and we know we need to know the slope, m. Well, they told us that. It says it has a slope of 3 and a y-intercept of -6. So those are the pieces that we would use to fill in our equation here. So we would say y equals, m come first, 3x, and then we would put -6 for the y-intercept. So that's all we did was stick in the pieces for m and b. We've been doing that all year long. Well, there's another way to write equations, the point-slope form. So instead of plugging in for m and b, we're going to still plug in for m, but notice this one has parentheses in it, and you've got to have a point. So for this one, m doesn't change. M is still the slope, but x1 right here and y1 right here is actually a point on the line. So for instance, it could look like something like this. Write the equation of a line with a slope of 2. So there's our important piece. We got to have, they've told us our slope of 2, and going through the point 4, -3. So you use this form, and we're going to fill it in. And like I've already typed the pieces here. You just have to stick in what they've given us. Well, we know our slope over here is 2, so we could erase and put 2 in for that. And then our y1 value here, we're going to have to erase twice. What's our y value? So you go to the point and say, our y value is, oh, it's this one, -3. So notice how sometimes you have negative. That's okay. We're going to come back and simplify that in a minute. And so for this one, let's replace our x1. That's the x value of your point, which for us is 4. So let's simplify this a little bit, because y minus -3 is really y plus 3. So we could simplify it as that, but to be lowercase. Okay, equals 2 times x, and we only have 1 minus here, 4. So there's no simplifying to do on this side. Now this is our final answer right here in point slope form. Because point slope, you leave the parentheses. Now if we wanted to, we could actually distribute and solve for y and change it back to slope-intercept form, but that's not what this problem is asking us to do. It just asks us to use that information and substitute into the formula. So the number one mistake I see is students will not put this minus if their value is a negative. But this minus, that's why they're pink, those are always part of the formula, okay? So I'm actually going to bring up my iPad now, and I'm going to write down this information really quickly, and we're going to plug this in into point slope. So they're giving us the point 2, 9, and they told us our slope is -2. So let me bring my iPad up real quick. Okay, so there's our information. They gave us a point and they gave us a slope. They said write the equation in point slope form. So remember, that's y subtract y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Again, you don't have to memorize this formula. I'm going to give it to you anytime you need to use it. So we just need to plug in the pieces, because we're going to plug in for this piece here, for m, and for x sub 1. They just put the sub 1. It's called y sub 1. It's for subscript. It's for little numbers that are down in the corners over here. Those are subscripts. Comes another bell. They just put that so you would know the difference from the variable and the x and y value in your point. So this is our x sub 1, and this is y sub 1 right here. So we need to plug in those values. So I have y, subtract. That's part of the formula. Now I'm going to put my y value, which is 9, equals m, which is -2, times x minus. That's all part of the formula. Now I need to plug in the value for x1, which is 2. So that's it. That's the answer in slope-intercept form. So we can come back now over here. And if you want, you could just put that on paper and take a picture and insert it here. I want you to do number 2 on your own. Okay, so you can, the easiest thing for you to do here is just going to be, you can insert a text box if you want and type the answer, or if you just work it out on scratch paper and insert the pictures here, that's going to be easier. And if you don't remember how to insert a picture, you go to insert, image, and then you choose camera, and it's going to bring up the camera on your Chromebook and let you take a picture of your piece of paper, and then it'll go ahead and hit insert and it'll put it in here for you. So let's go back over to Canvas now to the modules page. Remember, you have an exit ticket, but first I want you to practice this a little bit more with this point slope. I wonder why it's saying access denied. I don't know. Let me do this. I'll leave student view. I wonder what will happen. Here we go. Perfect. So this is what yours should look like. And you're going to click on this bar right here. And it's going to bring up Cami. And remember, you can type on these or you can write with the drawing tool. So here's some problems for you to practice on. Now, what if they just give you 2 points? Remember, to write in point slope form, and I'm going to type the formula here. It's y subtract, I'm going to do it in green for where you're going to plug in, y sub 1 equals, oh, it didn't change my color. It changed the whole color. Oh, okay. That's okay. M times x minus x sub 1. So there's your formula right there. There's your point slope form. I'm going to leave that on there so it'll be there for you guys too. So if they didn't give us the slope, well, you need to find the slope. So you have 2 ways to do that. You can do stat edit in your calculator, or you can use the slope formula. You could subtract your y values on top, subtract your x values in the denominator, and that would give you your slope. Same thing with this right here. You need to find the coordinates of one of your points and then find one of your slopes. So try and practice this and see how you do. I'm more interested in you practicing 1 through 6 are super important. I'm not going to take a grade on this, okay? Well, I'm going to take a grade on the exit ticket. So make sure you complete the exit ticket. If you want some extra help with these, again, it's just plugging in the pieces here for M and for X1. Remember, these minuses are part of the formula. And sometimes you have to simplify those minuses. So make sure if you have a minus, you simplify it to a plus. But if you want some extra help or you want me to work out some of these, I can do that. Send me an email, tell me what number you're struggling with, and I'll make you a video.